What's different about the playoffs, Drew?
More's on the line. You kind of feel like, I don't know, some people probably feel, or some teams probably feel like they have to prove themselves. Other teams are trying to protect what they have. It's just the intensity is expanded, and I don't know, people want to win. We're competitive, so just everything is a different level.
How do you, like, I know during the season, Coach Bud tries not to give you all too much when it comes to, like, the scout or, you know, I mean, the games are so back to back to back, whereas now you have this whole week and you're focused on one team. How is that transition for you to, like, lock in differently and maybe they're holding you accountable more for different things? How has that been to just dial in different?
I think it's easier to lock in this way. So many games, so many different teams, so many different players. Back to back, you have to kind of switch your mindset when it comes to who you're playing against and how you're going to guard them. But for one to have a week to kind of sit back and do your homework, in my opinion, helps. And then from game to game, I feel like there aren't really major adjustments. They're just minor adjustments. So I like it.
DeMar's obviously one of those dudes that can go off and put up a whole bunch of points. We've talked about like contesting shots on him and not falling for pump fake and stuff like that. How do you kind of find that balance between, hey, we got to make it hard on this dude, but also I'm not going to pick up silly fouls in the first quarter or whatever it may be?
Mental toughness, concentration, practicing it in practice. Playing against him 4 times already and just trying to have a feel for it. But you obviously know that first game or just the intensity of the playoffs, you get excited and your energy is up. So that is definitely likely that you can pick up a quick foul or something. But I think it's just concentration and just being the best player that you can.
We focus so much on DeMar, and obviously he has the ball in his hands left, but Levine is a hell of a scorer too. Is your thing?
I do sleep on Zach.
But with Zach, like, how do you try to slow him down? What are you thinking about when you're defending him?
I mean, he's a tough guard. You have to be active. He's athletic, so try to keep him out of the paint. He shoots the 3-ball very, very well if it's catch and shoot or even off the dribble. For me, I would say tough contested twos. He can also make them, and he can go off doing that. But try to contain him in that way, and then defensively, good defender, but go at him. It's hard to do both. It's hard to be the leading scorer and have that load and that pressure on top of you on the offensive end, and then have to go down here in defense and be able to guard too.
Even in the second half, Drew, just defensively, rating numbers-wise wasn't great for you guys. Like, what gives you confidence that y'all can get back to sort of being the elite?
Brook Lopez. No, Brook is a part of it, but I just think the intensity of playoffs. Like I said earlier, being able to lock in on a game plan, on the scheme, and executing it the best you can. Like I said, giving us a week to kind of prepare and go through practice and doing our best to mimic what DeMar and Zach and Vooch like to do. We do our best, and then we got to go out and execute.
You feel like you guys have another step that y'all can take defensively from where you have been playing?
We weren't as good as last year, so yeah.
You mentioned the inherent difference with playoff intensity and feel. For end of game, close game type of stuff. So like for the regular season game with Miami, when you get the inbound, you go to the basket, win the game. Giannis wins on a buzzer beating finger roll. Is that different? Does that feel different than, say, Chris hits the game winner in game 1 against Miami? Like, does end of game, does it feel different, or do you try to make it not feel different? Like, you try to keep it low.
Never really thought about it. We won the game. Maybe in the grand scheme of things, maybe looking back at it, the more important one, in my opinion, is the win or the playoff win. I mean, obviously, what Chris does or Giannis does to win us a game in the playoffs is huge. That's kind of the goal. That's the reason why we do the regular season, so that we could win in the playoffs. So maybe just looking at it, yeah, that probably means more.
So is that experience? Is there a comfort? Like,
I think there's a little bit of balance. Like there's a little bit of balance where we're doing it in during the season, and kind of getting this feel of close games and being down 9 points with 3 minutes left and coming back and winning, or holding the lead for the last 2 minutes. I feel like those are experiences and things we can go back on when it comes time.
Jrue, it's hard to picture you guys really benefiting anything from on-the-court practice right now. You're not a young team. I get the film stuff.
Dang. No, that's cool. I mean, I'm almost 32. I feel it. Yeah.
Sorry. Forgot. Oh, can you get any, I mean, other than the rest and other than the film, is Bud actually working on little things? Are you working on little things? You're not adjusting shot or form or plays or anything. Is this all just kind of...
We are adjusting plays. I mean, yeah. We played them 4 times, so there's probably things that they've changed throughout those 4 games. It could be double teams, it could be floods, it could be how they play in transition. So there's little details that we kind of figure out watching the film, and again, just thinking like, well, this kind of worked for them, so how do we counteract to that? At the same time, even though we are young, we do a good job of taking care of our body. So being able to practice helps us. I think for me, personally, being able to like actually do the action on the court, full speed, but not for 3 hours, is a good thing. It helps to learn. Yeah.
I meant inexperienced.
No, I'm just messing with you. I'm just joking. No, you're good. You're good.
True. What kind of addition has Wes been to y'all since coming in here?
Oh, he's been great. I mean, I feel like also helps with our defense, taking big responsibility guarding the best players of the other team, giving me a chance to maybe score a little more, and then maybe down the stretch kind of go back to the defensive side and defensive mindset. So Wes has been huge. And at the same time, we only talking about defense. We act like Wes doesn't know how to score or make plays. Really smart player, running the floor, never gets tired. I mean, he just sacrifices so much offensively that he's still a threat.
I would say like maybe one of the big pieces of last year's team, the different this year is like not having PJ. Does sound kind of like similar things that Wes can sort of step in?
It is similar. No offense to Tuck, but I think Wes has more of an offensive game than Tuck does. So that's to our advantage. But defensively, Wes has that dog. He has that grit. He has little tricks and stuff that he does, and he annoys people, man. So I don't know. I feel like people think I'm a good defensive player. Having Wes and having Giannis and having Brook has been great for me. Oh, and Chris, by the way, lockdown defender, Chris Middleton.
Have you learned anything from Wes about how he takes care of his body at, what is he, 34 years old?
Am I learning anything from Wes? No. We've actually been in the league the same amount of time, so we kind of went through that together. But I feel like me and Wes are similar in that we do play defense, so we do have like similar things that like that might get tight or banged up just because of we got to sit down and slide and move our feet. But so that's things that we talk about. But learn from him? Nah, I think at this point I know my body pretty well. He knows his body pretty well.
You mentioned like the offensive end with Wes. I know in the past I've asked him like, hey, you got 5 shots tonight, and you gotta make those shots, right? Like you gotta make them count. People expect you to hit those shots. And he's like, Eric, I've made thousands of shots.
Yes. He'll be all right. Yeah.
In those situations, do you feel like we maybe underrate what the guys outside the big three do, like offensively, like the ability to kind of do everything else? Because like every night we're gonna talk about like Jrue.
I do, and I feel like we talk about it. We have so many talented guys on our team that, again, sacrifice a lot. There's a lot of guys who are more than just catch and shoot guys or running to the dunker or the corner, more than just defenders. So Wes is one of those guys who's had a lot of buckets in his career, and on a different team has had a different role. So coming here, just knowing that he has that in his pocket, for me is not just him, but I mean, there's Grayson, there's G, who's not shooting the ball the way he wants to, but also has that in a great defender. We have a lot of talent on our team.
Is it cool for you to see like a guy like Brook, like he used to average 20 a game, and now he just does whatever you guys need? Like, is it cool for you to see like other guys like accept that sacrifice, or you know what I mean?
It is. It's just crazy that, like you said, I think people overlook. Oh, y'all good, man. Y'all loud. Dang. Nah, it's just crazy to me that people overlook him. Even last year, people overlooked Brook, like he was getting killed or something in the playoffs. Where Game 5 and 6 of the Atlanta series, we had like 30, like he was dunking on everybody. But I do think that people saw this year without Brook how much he means to our team, especially on the defensive end. I'm also not sure that people know. I think Brook is still the leading scorer of the Brooklyn Nets. All twos, by the way. I'm just saying, especially in a game where there's a lot of threes now. Brook is also a bucket. So, again, people forget sometimes.
A lot of us were here with the build-up to the championship where, 2019, even 2018, all the build-up. The two guys who were a part of that who didn't get rewarded with the ring were George and Wesley, of course. Do you care about that? Is there any sentimentality? And I know that's kind of a big picture, getting way ahead, but is there any sentiment, bring them back, include them in this?
I mean, so last year, Wes was already gone. But me and Wes had been talking to each other, like when he was in Dallas, about trying to play together. I don't think people know that. And then I tell G all the time that I was sad when they traded him for me. He was one of the people that I wanted to play with. So even to get the ring and have him back now, him and Wes, it's not like we doing it for them, but if we end up winning, I'm going to be extremely happy for him.